Yes, okay. Welcome on board to another interesting video session. Yes, let's learn something very interesting today. As I've been laying so much emphasis on the design of the buck converter, it's an electronic design that today in our present day world you cannot run away from it. In every electronic circuit you definitely find it. Your TV, your decoder, your home theater, the list is endless. So this is it. This one has a feedback system. This one doesn't have a feedback system. So this is a 555 timer circuit. This is a 2.2k resistor for the discharge. This is the variable resistor for adjustment of the duty cycle alongside the two diodes. This is the 1 UF capacitor that determines your duty cycle. That is it. Look at it here. So if you look at it, this is our inductor, this is our MOSFET. Look at it, Z44. In this case we are using a Z44. So let me start with the individual item for you to see. This is Z44. This is how it looks like. So if you look at it carefully from the point we are seeing the writing, this side is our reference point, that is the gate that takes care of putting it on. Then the next point is the middle leg. Then the third leg by this side is the negative, it's connected to the negative. When it is on, it bridges. Then when it is off, when you connect this first point to the negative line, it cuts off. So you can study more on how the behavior of the Z44 is. This is our 555 timer IC. Look at it. Look at it carefully. You can see it. So from this side, you can see this first point is the pin number 1. So you go and counterclockwise. Then the last pin here is pin 8. So that is the arrangement. So this is how it is placed on it. This way, the cut is up. Look at the cut. I place it there. So you can go through my videos. You will see a video on how the entire circuit is being bundled. This diode is to ensure that you don't have an excess voltage. You don't have a voltage that will end up damaging the diode. Sorry, the MOSFET, or it increases your current. Look at it. Look at the diode. Look at it. This white part you are seeing is connected this way. So look at how it is connected. Then the capacitor. Look at it. The white line is negative. In this case, we connect it this way. Look at it. The white line will be on the negative part and the other side without the negative. Then this is an inductor. This is an example of an inductor. Look at clearly see it. If you can lay your hands on this, good and fine. Or something of this nature, but this one the winding is too much, else it is going to end up discharging so much heat as if it is a load. So if you can lay your hands on a wire like this, NML copper wire for making transformer, look at it with a 3 WDG or any size of you can lay your hands on, you wind it this way continuously, maybe for like 20 tons to 26 tons. So it shouldn't be too much, else it will end up behaving as a load and discharging so much heat. So let me explain. What I'm going to be saying here is how you can implement a feedback system into this circuit. Let me reduce the volume more. So this capacitor, you can use 1 UF or any value. This is 104, that is 0.1 UF. So you can use something of this nature too. It will be good. So this is it. If you look at it carefully, I have said it. Look at it, 1 2 3. I've explained how this one works. This is a reference point, that is the point that will connect to the positive. Then if you look at it carefully here, this is a point 1 here. Look at the point 1 here. Then look at it here. This pin 3 is connected to negative, which is this third leg. But in this case, the pin 3 is connected to your load directly. The output is this way. Then you have your BC547 that takes care of generating the reference point through the pin 5. Pin 5, look at it. So look at the BC547, look at it. The 3 terminals. So you see it. The middle leg is a positive that when you connect it to power, it ensures that this third leg, which is connected to negative, will fire up another negative power to the other side. So that is how it is. Then you have your 20k variable resistor that ensures that you generate an accurate reference voltage. You can use a TL431 in this case, depends on how you're able to manipulate it. Then when it senses a particular 0.6 volt, it connects it negative. But when you connect a load here, the load will bring down the voltage, and then at the end of the day, the duty cycle will increase, so that it will pump in more voltage to compensate for the one you are drawing. But that is for the case of this one, because look at the arrangement. You see, this is the positive, is on the positive line, while on this case it is on the negative line. Pin 3, pin 2. Look at it carefully. I'm leaving it for some few seconds for you to see the entire design. Then you know how to manipulate your way. So this is it. Look at it. pin 3, you can see the arrangement. Look at the BC547, look at it clearly. You can see the arrangement, the way I connect it. The first leg is connected to negative, this pin is connected to the reference node of our variable resistor. Then the other third leg, the first leg is now connected to our BC547 pin 5 to ensure that it gives a proper reference. We are going to test it now. Let's test it and see the outcome. So we are having a 12 volt power supply. This is the one with the this is the one with the reference. Look at it. That is this other one. That is this one. Look at the design. Look at it. Then this is the one without the reference. Look at it. Its own circuit diagram. I'm going to open it. They are identical. If you look at it, virtually everything is identical. The only point is where you position this MOSFET and how you connect them. That is the only thing. Let me open it so that you see it yourself. You can see. There's nothing. You can see how identical they are. You can see the inductors inside. You can see the MOSFET. You can see the TL43 with the reference. So we are going to test it now. We are using our multimeter to test it. So let's test now and see. We are having a 12 volt power source. Look at it. Look at the multimeter there. Look at it. You see, you are seeing 12 there. So we are going to start with this one. This one, since it doesn't have reference, what it does is it ensures that you adjust the current through this adjustable variable resistor for the duty cycle. That one I showed you with the point of the diode. Look at them here. The point with the diode, the point of the diode that is having it. Look at it. This very point here. Let me turn it for you to see. This very point you are seeing with this reference. Look at them. That is this very point. So we are going to connect our bulb to it. This is our bulb. So I'm going to adjust it. Let me connect it. I'm putting it on. Just watch the brightness of the bulb. You see it. So the reason why it doesn't have feedback, you see the brightness, see the level of the brightness. I'm going to adjust it so that you see. As I adjust it, you see that the brightness will be increasing. You see, it is increasing. So let me reduce it. You see that. So it's adjusting the current. So you see, it's going up. You see the brightness. I'm adjusting it. You see, it's going down. So that is it. The major disadvantage of this one is you can use it for solar power, but the key thing there is if you are going to use this one, you need an auto cut off, something like this, to ensure that your battery is not overcharged, so that it gets cut off. The circuit diagram for this one too is also on my website, or it's also on my channel, that is my YouTube channel. You go there, you will see it. I explain how everything works there. Then this one doesn't have a feedback. Just watch, just see it. Let me test it for you. You will see it's having a constant 12 volt. Just watch the output at our digital multimeter. There. You are seeing 12 volt there. I'm going to adjust it. You see, I'm adjusting it. You see, it's still having that 12 volt. It only adjusts the current. So if you are using it for solar, it's going to be very efficient. You won't be wasting so much power. That is a good thing with this one. Then let me keep it aside. Let's now have this one with the reference voltage. You are going to see the interesting part of it. One interesting part of it to tell you how good it is. Let me adjust it for you. Let me connect it so that you see. You see, I'm connecting it. It's fully connected now. So let's test it. You see, the case of that one is showing us exact 12 volt, but just watch this one. Watch our multimeter. Just see. Let's see how I'm going to put it. You see, we're having exact 5 volt. That means we can use this one to charge our phone. Wow, very interesting. With some few adjustments, you can adjust it for this potentiometer, this very one. While this one will take care of controlling the duty cycle. Look at it. This one, if you adjust this one, if you adjust the voltage, if you adjust this one, if you adjust the current. So let's connect our bulb. We are going to connect our bulb so that you see. So you see our bulb. Let's connect our bulb properly. Then you see the brightness. You see it. You're seeing it. I'm still going to test it. You see it. You see we are still having around 4 point something. So there is a small voltage drop from it. So you see how good it is. I'm going to adjust it and get potentiometer. Let me adjust the potentiometer so that you see it yourself. As I'm adjusting it, just watch how the voltage will change. This potentiometer is connected to the BC547. You see as the voltage is going down 3 point something. So let me increase it again. As I'm increasing, you see it's going to 5 volt, 8 volt, you see. So you see, you can adjust it to power anything of your choice, depends on the voltage, provided you are not drawing too much current. If you are going to be drawing more current, you are going to increase this MOSFET. Maybe you put 2, look at it, you put 2 of it, then with a heatsink. While the case of this other one that doesn't have, while the case of this other one, you don't need any heating because you don't have so much power lost on it. As you increase the load, one MOSFET can do it, it can handle a lot of current. So for the last time, look at the circuit diagram carefully for yourself. So I wish you best of luck as you try it yourself. Let's enjoy the music. We have done learning some interesting aspects. So more jams coming your way. Enjoy yourself.